Welcome to the People's Economy Podcast, the only podcast where we keep it all the way real. Our mission is to educate you, empower with you with knowledge, give you maybe some financial education that you didn't have before. So we got one of our top supporters right here in the room, Rob. Rob, would you like to tell us a little bit about your investment experience and what you've learned, what you learned, what you went through, and what you learned from it?
Yeah. All right. So I've been probably investing for about 3 years now and learned a lot. Nobody showed me nothing, really told me nothing. Did it all my own research to figure things out, what all these different weird foreign language type things actually meant. And
Mm.
so from there, from doing that, I'm just at work a normal day. And I'm like, man, I know 401 really just invests in the stock market. But I'm like, how do I control what 401 the 401 management company is actually investing in on my behalf? And I didn't know anything. My job automatically enrolls you into 401k at a predetermined percentage, and then they match at a certain percentage, but they don't enroll you at that percentage where they match. So people get enrolled and know 401's coming out, but they don't know how much percent they're putting in. They don't know at what percent the company's gonna match at. And then if they do know, they probably don't know what their money's being invested into, you know.
Right.
So I just started asking questions. I found out it was a 401 management company that really handles it. The company was only putting in 2%, and they didn't put anything in until it was at 5%. So, first thing I had to do was get that changed up. And then once I got that squared away, after kind of the ring around, it took a little while for me to even get to the 401 company because, you get the paperwork mailed to your house all the time or whatever, but you really don't, a lot of folks don't pay it no attention because it's got a whole bunch of numbers and stuff. You don't know
Yep.
what any of it means. And people are like, oh, whatever. They just hope they're making money when it comes time for retirement. But yeah, so kind of, some of the things, I had found out about the 401 company was automatically putting me on T-Roll 2045. You know, I don't know what that is. It's just some retirement plan where they're predicting you're going to retire in the year 2045. So it's already like in I always get like mutual funds and all that kind of stuff confused, but it was something like that.
Similar. It's similar though.
Yeah, it's similar like that. It's just something where, and what they do is they manage your portfolio for you. So let's say they'll put a certain percentage into stocks, a certain percentage in ETFs, certain percentage into, real estate or whatever for you. Now, remember, it's like a T-Roll 2045 retirement plan. All the companies got them. Schwab and Fidelity. They all got a 2045 or 2025 or 2035. It's just set up for when they're predicting you to retire depending on your age.
Right.
And what it does is like when they first started, they invest really, really aggressively. And then as you get closer to that 2045, the aggressiveness tapers off. So I'm like, man, in my head, I'm like, I really don't want mine to taper off closer I get. I want it to, I don't want to be 100% aggressive, but shoot, I also don't want to miss opportunities. And then plus, I want to know if you're going to buy 60% stocks, 30% this, 20, I want to know what actually you're buying. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And let alone for what I've been doing, I want to be able to control it myself. I don't need y'all. You know what I mean? I'd rather just do it myself. And if I feel like I'm making a mistake. Hey, I'm just gonna circle back around to what y'all. I'm gonna circle and put it back into 2045. You
Right.
know, or
Right.
whatever. You know, it's
So
just a matter of just knowing what's going on with your money, and not if you really don't know anything about it, you still should at least know where your money's going and what it's doing. Pay attention to performance. Not every day, every week, but maybe every quarter. Every 3 months, just tap in and see what's going on.
No, you're definitely right. Well, let me ask you what after finding out like about how the 401k works, just the initial figuring out how it works, did it make you like did it make you want to learn more? Initially, did it make you want to learn more, or were you like turned off by investing and just say, "Nah, this is like a scam"? Because some people just think if you don't figure it out right, figure things out right away, it's like it doesn't work. Were you more interested in it, or did it make you first say, I don't, I want to learn more?
It actually made me more interested
Mm,
because the first thoughts is, man, it's a scam.
right,
That's the first thought. But
right,
then that's just your emotion. That ain't logic, really speaking. Then,
mm,
but it made me want to learn more because I know it's set up to help me out. You know what I mean? In the long run. But let's just say I didn't want them to be passively investing for me when
mm,
in my regular investing life, I'm not like I'm not passive. You know what I mean?
right,
It's
right.
so it's like I want more control. I want to know what it is, and it's they've got companies. The funny thing is the way it's set up is there's certain companies that I can actually invest in. I can't like it's they've got me in some type of group called the construction uh, some type of construction plan where it makes all the costs cheaper for the employee, so to speak. And there may be about 500 people a part of it. So they've got certain things set up where I can only invest in certain stocks
Yeah,
that
it's
are
like a,
actually.
it's like a default plan. Like this is
do you
what you
know?
this is what you get.
Do you can you see what stocks it's invested in? You know some of the stocks they pick.
Yeah, they do. Hold on. I got it wrote down in my phone. Give me 1 second.
But let me ask you this: Is the
Okay.
401k like a simple investment plan for your retirement, or is it like something different?
It's just the way they have it set up. It's just for retirement, so to speak, because the way it's set up to just get pretty much like minimal gains. So
Yeah.
now, that's how I felt when I was looking at it.
Mm.
I was like, dang, you know,
And
some of
you know
these are
why?
really
You know
just
why that is? Because portfolio managers they have to like kind of take safe bets. They can't invest some of those. They're not allowed to invest in some of those real risky stocks that have high growth.
right, right. I get it, and that makes sense because my thing is I want mine to do better than what the Nasdaq's doing. I want it
Mm.
to do better than the S&P. On a yearly basis. Not on a daily or anything. I'm like
Yeah, I mean
the
that's how
whole
we.
object.
Mm. Now,
Go
that's
ahead.
how we kind of promote on the show is like yeah, have your 401k, but take some money and start your own portfolio, do some stuff yourself.
Right.
Yeah, and see, what I also learned was about the money market also, because there
Mm.
is a Schwab money market on in my 401k plan. I could opt into, and and the lady that I was talking to was actually telling me was that I could put the money in the money market and it just sit there pretty much, and then if I see an opportune time to jump on something, then I can just roll that 401 money that was in the money market into whichever stock I wanted to, or not stock, but whatever they call them, mutual funds.
So do you would you say you're a person that likes to invest like spread out into things, or you like to put a little bit of money in a lot of things, or a lot of money in a couple things?
I actually, where I'm at, I put I put a little bit and kind of spread it out. Cause see
Okay.
what I do, I don't, and this is probably a lot of people, man. I don't just come in with a lump sum of money to put in. I just
Right.
put some every week out of my paycheck. Boom, 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 and then that's it. You know what I mean? And it just before I realized it, it was like, damn, uh, I'm actually
Right.
sitting on something good here, and I actually
Right.
because at first, small amounts of money, you don't see a lot of change, but the more you
Right.
put into it, you start seeing like daily changes, and you start seeing it. So you're like, okay, that motivates you.
Yeah.
But going back to what Jerry was saying, some of the companies that that they do have as options are the American Funds International, Ivy, some Ivy High Yield. They have the small cap Vanguard. They got a lot of the Vanguards. They got the Vanguards growth stock, the small cap, the Vanguard blue chip. It's a couple other ones that I now that I'm talking, I can remember some.
Those
But I mean,
vanguards, those vanguards, they shouldn't be supported by a lot of analysts and companies, the big
mhm.
tech and things like that. But also, just to add to what you were saying, there's also when you trade in your 401k, you have tax benefits. You can trade and not have to pay tax because you pay taxes when the money goes in. You take it out tax free when you retire. So you by trading in your 401k, you're limited on what you can trade on, but you also have the tax benefits, but you can take that money out on those gains tax free later.
Okay,
Right.
yeah,
Which is
because
a
I think mine
good
is
fallback.
yeah, I think mine's pre-tax or something like that. I think it's pre-tax, but
Probably is.
I know there's a way. I mean, I don't know. I'm not telling everybody to do it, but I know you could do something like roll it back over into an IRA later in life. You know, save yourself some money.
Depending on the plan, you can do that.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know all the details about that one, but I caught wind of it.
I think it's just good that you decided to even like get into the whole investing and trying to even figure out like where. Ask the why questions. That's what you got to do. You got to ask the why questions. Why do things work this way? Why do things work that way? How much more savvy are you as an investor now than when you first learned about investing?
It's so funny. Look, I laugh because how people sit down and they be on IG or TikTok, Facebook. I'd be on those for a brief second, but most of the time, if I'm picking up my phone and I'm looking at something, you know, I'm reading articles. I'm on Yahoo
Right.
Finance, Google Finance. I'm on, you know, I'm on there reading something. I'm on Motley Fool or whoever.
Okay.
I'm all
All
over the
right.
place.
He knows.
Okay. Being that you on all that, now give us some of your stock picks, yo. What's up, man? What you got? What you
Hey,
liking now?
I like this joint. Look, I ain't gonna lie to you, and one that's been good to me too. And I just jumped on this one back in like the end of July, but it's already run up, and the outlook's good. I like Appian.
I got a straight Appian.
Yeah, I like Appian, and I mean, I like Chewy.com too.
I was watching that since IPO. It came up, right? It came up.
Yo, Snowflake. That Snowflake, that was a move there.
That was it's actually the largest software to ever IPO, like market cap wise, the
Yeah,
biggest one in history.
yeah. I've heard there's some other companies really like similar or that already do what Snowflake does that are like under the radar. But you know, with like with the cloud and stuff, that's like an unlimited space for unlimited amount of businesses to get a piece until the government comes in and really tries to put the clamps down on that whole cloud data and you know all of that stuff. But I
What
think
about some
any
more
company dealing with the clouds is gonna do all right. I think.
I agree. Like Twilio,
Yep.
Twilio too.
Cloudera. Cloudera's on like $6 a share, but it does the same thing Snowflake does.
What are you guys thinking about online banking being used more as a preference than regular banking accounts?
I think it's been that way for probably. It's been that way for a little bit of time now. I think they even getting rid of the. There's not a lot of tellers anyway in the bank now. It's like it's all machine.
I'm talking about like apps, like the online apps.
Like Chime and like how Acorns and stuff
They're
like
saying
that.
actually you
You
can
mean
get
the
more.
investment apps?
No, like online money bank accounts
Yeah,
versus.
that's considered as fintech, financial technology apps like
Like what?
Square and PayPal.
Okay. All right. Venmo, Cash App.
Even just doing that, I think he means just using like. Actually, I was on CNBC today. They were discussing that. How do you think people are going to go back to like going into banks? Because during these times, people want a lot more digital with their banking.
Right. Right. Probably less.
And look, the funny thing you was talking about them is just check out if you ever see anybody with them cards, you know, just which ones got Visa logos, MasterCard, because everything's gonna pretty much all of that. If they're gonna issue you a card, it's gonna have either Visa or MasterCard on it.
Yeah.
Or I don't.
Right. They own it.
I know Visa's always solid, long term.
Yeah, I agree. I second that.
Visa's definitely
PayPal,
solid.
I think too. They're linked with PayPal and I think Square.
I believe so.
PayPal and Square are up like 80-90% this year alone.
Yeah, yeah, because a lot of people are doing a lot more e-commerce.
Yeah, but PayPal really made a surge back because PayPal wasn't probably the favorite a couple years back, even a year back. There were starting to be other apps, but PayPal really stepped their game up, and they back. PayPal's definitely good. Visa's always good.
It's weird how people will use PayPal to go person to person and take that charge that PayPal charge you.
They will. I get it. It's convenience. People just want convenience now. Because even a lot of stores, at least here in New York, there's stores where they don't want cash. It's cashless. You got to have a card or something like that. So there's got to be more technology to handle that for a lot of these retail shops or fast food. They just want you to do, pay with card. That's it. Restaurants, when they do come back, it's probably going to try to do more card. Encourage you to do card more.
And another thing, go ahead, Dodge.
No, I'm saying those are stock options that we could look on for more investments, right? Then the mobile money apps, stuff like that.
Definitely. Yeah, all of those are going to end up being tied back to Visa or MasterCard.
One way or another, yeah.
The Giants, yeah. Those are the Giants.
But with that even being said, I like some of these cyber security companies too. They've been doing good. See, what I found out was, I think I said it under one of y'all's posts. I was like, it seems like tech always does good. No, I mean, it has its down. It has its bearish moments, so to speak. But it's always, it always bounces back.
Tech is only going forward.
Probably like 50% of my portfolio is like tech.
Yeah, that's a smart move though. That's right. That's a smart move because we only going into that realm more. We're not going backwards at this point. Not right now. We pivoted
And
into more tech.
they're offering more interest on the money will attract more traction their way too
Hmm.
What?
for
Oh,
the
on the.
mobile money.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, right. And they get a fee. That fee helps them too. Don't
Yeah.
forget, that fee adds up. Every time you use that fee adds up for them. So it's
Well,
it's good.
yeah, well, Rob, if you were looking for like more growth and more aggressive, tech is the biggest, growth sector out there. So you'd have to be heavy tech if you want that big growth.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Cause I got slick FOMO. So ever since I got in, like a part of me is like, man, I don't want to miss out. Cause I know
Right.
when it comes to like tech and like bioscience, I know like any moment something jump through the roof. You know what I mean? And it's like just all about just paying attention. But I sometimes like piece of me is scared to miss out on that, and then always being like, man, I knew I should have got that, or you know, something like that. So
That
yeah,
never goes away.
that's
That ain't going. That ain't going away. You're gonna feel
yeah,
that way for.
that's why I'm tech. That's why bigger the risk, bigger the reward.
But even if
But
even if you just in it, and let's say you never really catch one of them crazy inclines on a stock. If you just consistently invest, you'll still end up with
Mm.
something. Isn't it like you always usually end up at least doubling your money at the most basic level of it? You'll at least get double, more than what you put in. If you just do the basic investments and you never even hit big, you can
yeah,
still make money.
yeah,
Patience.
because especially right now, this is like the best time to jump in on
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, man. Because it's weird. You know how they always like. I don't know how much experience Jerry got, y'all got, but I'm like, or Dodge, But when I first got in, everybody already knows just buy low, sell high. But the thing is figuring out what's low or
Mm.
Right.
where's the low at. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then,
Right.
it seems like instinct tells you see it running up. You're like, man, let me jump in. Let me jump in.
Right.
Really, in all actuality, it's like that's the wrong time to jump in.
Right.
But it's hard. It's hard when you see something in the green not to want to get a piece of it. But you just never. It takes a little
That's.
bit more advanced charting to really know what's going on.
I was gonna
Other
say
than
that's why
just seeing
that's
the
why the
green.
charts look like that. The charts look like
Yeah,
that for a reason to make you
yeah,
get stimulated by what you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? That's why the colors that they use is used. It's for a reason. It's for a reason. But you're right. I understand. I understand that. You got to just figure it out. That's where those are two different games, and you got to sit in the investment game a little bit longer. I think you got to sit
yeah.
in that one a
That's
little longer.
it.
So
That's it. That's it.
Rob, do you invest 401k plus your own money or just 401k?
Yeah, I do my own money. 401k, that's just deal with like my job, but I invest my own money, and that's kind of when I first got in it, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a trader, and then I'm gonna be a day trader, and it never really hit me till about 6 7 months ago that hey, I'm really not a trader. I'm more like I'm an investor. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I mean, I'll day trade and pre-market. You know what I'm saying? When I wake up in the morning and I got a little free time,
It's good to do
I
all
mean,
that.
yeah, I'll play around. But I got different apps for different stuff. I got like my long-term investments through one broker. Then I got my little 1 to 3 year through another broker, and then I day trade through Webull.
Mm.
So, I just have it broke down, but I play with my own money. My 401. That's just forget about money. You know, I'm probably never gonna tap in with any of that till I retire. But
Right.
I just want to know what's going on. I want to know where my money, because even like the Vanguard, the small caps. Okay, people know. Okay, you got Vanguard, but what stocks are within the Vanguard small cap? You know what I mean? Because those are changing a lot. You know what I mean? So it's almost like I just didn't want to be like, okay, invest in the Vanguard growth,
Right.
and I don't know what companies are held within that stock, or within that fund or that holding. You know?
Now you want to know the details. You want to know the details of what's. Yeah, I get it. I
Yeah,
get it. That's how you get full control. That's the only way to get full control of
yeah.
what your portfolio.
Exactly how you said it.